Fired. We received calls for a dumpster fire up against the building, and they struck a box for that location. The apparatus responded to Medeiros Hall, in the rear of Medeiros Hall, where there was a dumpster fully involved. Engine 3 proceeded to go to work, which was using spare engine 13. They were stretching a line to attack the fire, and the pump operator went to put the truck in gear, put it in pump gear, raised the throttle, and at that point in time the truck lunged forward, trapping Lieutenant Geary underneath of the truck. Everybody at that point in time went into basically a rescue mode to free Lieutenant Geary and used the jaws and whatnot to pick up the truck and get it off him so we could get him boarded and onto a rescue. At that time, I was responding, and I went right to Beth Israel Hospital and met Lieutenant Geary up there and his brother Dennis. The injuries, he had a compound fracture of the left forearm. He had visible facial scalp wound that went back a great distance on his head. At that time, they were getting him ready for a complete scan to see what other injuries he may have had. With the scan, it was discovered that he had 2 fractures of the shoulder, of the shoulder blade. In addition to all the x-rays and whatnot they did on his arm. It was decided when they brought him back that they were going to schedule him for surgery, which I believe was set for 6, but I believe it went off more towards 8 o'clock. At about 3:30, we were basically they were going to go to work on suturing his scalp and whatnot. So they had asked us at that time that we could let them do their thing. I returned back to the scene, and at that time we had critical incident stress team from Boston out, and the firefighters that all had participated in the rescue were being debriefed to the critical incident stress group. As it was at that time that I brought them up to speed on the lieutenant's condition, because they had all feared for the worst, and thank God that he's going to be okay. It was a first-line spare, and we've used it many a time before and had no problems.
And Chief, you were a firefighter as
Yes.
well. How do you feel about putting out safe equipment?
Well, I mean, you got a job to perform, and not only do you have the public to be concerned about, you have your own firefighters to be concerned about. And I would not put a piece on the road that would be in danger to the firefighters. And our ladder 4, which we had a problem with that, as soon as that developed, we pulled that right off the road.
Firefighters claim that the problems with that particular ladder truck were going on for years, and a number of men have been injured, and it continued to stay out on the road.
No, that's not true. It was not.
Profession. And there are some dangers that are inescapable and some that we can minimize. And this year we spent over $1 million on new equipment. We bought really a state-of-the-art ladder truck that is being put into service. And also, we recently spent, I believe, over $300,000 on breathing apparatus, if I'm not mistaken, Chief.
No, it's severe, yes.
Yeah, the self-contained breathing apparatus. So we think that maintaining the fleets are very important, and in fact, I believe the fire department has their own mechanics.
Yes, we do too.
And they are on full-time to maintain our fleet and to make sure that they are properly maintained.
So you don't believe the trucks need to be updated at all?
Well, I think that we, as we showed this year, we have purchased new equipment. We, as I said, purchased a state-of-the-art piece of equipment just this year, and it is about to go into service. And we also do refurbish our equipment as well. And
Do you think you need new equipment? Do you think you need new fire trucks?
Well, again, I think that the fleet that we have, the chief would not put that fleet out on the road if it weren't safe.
So no.
Again, I would refer to the chief on, is it
On
safe?
It is safe. And yeah, to say, yeah, you want new.
But this
everybody
particular
loves
vehicle
new.
wasn't safe last night.
Well,
Yes,
And another
I think,
vehicle.
excuse me, I think we really have to await the report of the state police to see the cause of this accident. And I think, again, this is far too important to the safety of individuals who risk their life every time the bell rings to make the wrong conclusion. So I would suggest that what we really need to do is see what the state police find in their investigation as to what was the cause of this accident, and then take the steps that are necessary to make sure that it does not happen again.
They are not doing due diligence to this fire department. They are not taking care of their firefighters, and they almost got one killed last night.
So why do you think the chief is...
Our members cannot go into a fire worrying about the equipment on their back, but the equipment that's pumping water into those houses, and worry about that failing on the spot. It can't be done. It has to be stopped. It has to be addressed now, and it has to be addressed by the alderman and everyone else in this building.
How would you characterize the condition of the equipment in Newton right now?
Deplorable.